What's up guys, my name is Zanprez and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. Today's video, I got a couple people asking me after I did my red hive build to do a white hive build, and before we get into this video, I wanted to say thank you so much for all your support. It really means so much to me. And I also do want to preface this saying I am not a white hive right now. I have never been a white hive, but I am following guides and different resources that I've found in order to give you guys the best information to the best of my ability to build white hives. So I am open to any suggestions and comments that you guys have. So if you have different things that you might want to change for your white hive or questions, leave those down in the comments and I will do my best to answer as many of them. And hopefully you guys, if I get something wrong, can teach me. So let's get right into this. I'm trying to get motivating nectar, or maybe I think it's comforting nectar for quests, so I need to collect this really quick. And then I'm gonna get into like the basic needs that you kind of just have to have if you're a white hive. Alright, now there's only one place that I think is fitting to do this. I'm gonna go into the gummy lounge. Now, things that you're gonna need in order to be a white hive, you're definitely gonna wanna have 50 bees. And people always ask like what hive level they have to be, or just in general what things should look like. I'd say level 16 is minimum. If you're level 15, honestly, I'd hold off or just go to like blue. You should not start as a white hive first. That's really expensive. You're also going to need all three of these items here, especially the gummy baller. The gummy baller is very expensive, but it's something that is essential if you want to do this. You're going to need to make sure to have a certain lineup of amulets, which we will go over in this video. And honestly, you need to be able to almost gift your entire hive. Your hive should be fully gifted ideally, so at least have the resources to have, I'd say, at least 45 of the bees fully gifted, and there are a lot of mythic bees that you need to have gifted, and also just have a lot of materials saved up. And ideally, if you have like a fuzzy alternate, or you know people that have a fuzzy alternate, and you're always going to need quite a bit of help during these boosts, and you're going to need stingers as well. And it's nighttime right now, so this is going to be what your life is going to look like every single time it's nighttime. At least go look around in the fields that vicious bee can get in and see if you can get some stingers. Alright, now we're going to get into the exact bees that you need in your hive. So of course you need yourself a gifted basic bee. Gifted basic bee has great stats, and it's a bee that you're going to need in every single hive, no matter what type of hive color that you're going for. So yeah, definitely need to have that. Then for rare bees, you are going to want to get yourself let's see here. You're going to want to get yourself a brave bee, gifted brave bee, for that little extra bee attack because of your star saw. You're going to want to get yourself a gifted hasty bee, a little bit more move speed. This helps with marks and the triangulate ability from vector bee. You're going to want to have a looker bee. Critical power gives you focus, really good bee overall for you. And then get yourself a stubborn bee. Token ability, lifespan is good. It also has pollen marks, and I'm honestly not a pro on why you need a lot of these bees, but that's the best in my knowledge for a lot of this. And then next up here for the epic bees, you're going to want to get yourself a honey bee. That gives you honey mark as well, 1.5 times honey from tokens, which, I mean, nothing super great, but it's good. You're going to need yourself a gifted shocked bee. That plus 25% white pollen is very good. A little bit of haste and token link are really nice too. Those will make your boosts a lot easier. You will want to have 4 baby bees. Now, your baby love is super important, and it's a lot easier to get bee ability rate on baby bee, so make sure you have 4 of those. You're also going to want to have music bee and lion bee. So here's the lion bee. That colorless bee attack is going to help you out a lot. And then right under it is music bee. That has 3 really good tokens that it spawns, and plus 25% pollen from bee gathering is pretty solid. So that is going to be it for the regular bees, and now we need to get into the mythic and the event bees. So the big one, 22 vector bees is what I've found generally. Now you can have maybe a few more than this, maybe a couple less, but ideally 22 gifted vector bees is going to be what you're looking for. That the marks that they have, the triangulate ability, that is going to be a super important thing to have. And I've also seen in a bunch of places you're going to need 8 precise bees. Now this will help you get super crit power, super crit chance, and that overall will be super strong. It also has a very good attack which will help you a lot when it comes to using your star saw, and also when you're just trying to do things that require attack around the map, like if you're trying to do robo challenge or anything. White is still pretty good for that. But then for event bees, obviously you need yourself a gifted bear bee. If you're really good at this game and you never usually spend Robux, you should honestly try to figure out a way to get yourself a bear bee. Digital bee, of course, it's really bad when you first get it, but then once you start adding drives to it, it's really good, especially if you start adding yourself white drives to this. That is going to make it so much better, especially if you are a white hive. You're going to want to get yourself a gummy bee. Gummy bee is super good, plus 5% honey per pollen. This is really good because it works with the gummy mask that you wear. It makes gummy bee really strong when the passive is activated. So definitely get yourself a gummy bee. Gifted photon bee is very important. That instant conversion is good. The haste is good. It has infinite energy, which is just kind of a cool thing about the bee. So definitely that is important. Of course, a tabby bee. Tabby bee is amazing. And that has tabby love, and that stacks up 1,000 times. And once you have that, let me go up here. It gives you just a lot more boosts in general. So tabby bee is really good. And then obviously you need yourself a windy bee. This one is kind of a no-brainer for a white hive. It has the white boost tokens, just everything. And then I forgot festive bee. Yeah, you need festive bee. This one is really important, and the bee quip that you put on it makes it totally worthwhile. So that is it for all of the bees that you need. Now let's kind of get into the amulets you need. Alright, now I know I said we were going to do amulets next, but I kind of forgot about bee quips, so we're going to do bee quips instead. So first one I want to talk about here is Smiley Sticker. Now you can purchase these in Dapper Bear's shop. I don't have a very good one here, but the thing that's really good about these is the mark duration that they give you. So ideally you'll have 2 of these, and you'll put these on either vector bees or precise bees. The bee just has to be gifted in order for you to put it on that, but that shouldn't be an issue because like I talked about, you should really have 45 bees gifted at least if you're going to make that transition. And then another one that has mark duration is Bubble Light. Bubble Light is very similar to the Smiley Sticker, and this is a good one to put on your precise bees. If you have about 3 of these, that is also something that works out really well. So 2 of the Smiley Stickers, 3 of the Bubble Lights, that's good. Mark duration is going to be your best friend. So Bubble Lights are great. It does have to have an energy mutation, but that's about the only limitation, and that's not too bad at the end of the day. It's pretty easy to get an energy mutation, and some move speed's good for vector bees too, because it makes the triangulate ability a little bit bigger because your bee can go faster and farther. So that is a really good ability to have on everything like that. So next up, I don't have it in my bee quip case. It is the kazoo. I have one over in my storage though. The thing that's really good about the kazoo is it has melody on it. Now, something that's amazing about melody is it gives you really good boosts when, especially if you're like attacking or even just collecting in the field. It's something that you're going to need, and not a lot of bees will spawn it, especially the bees that are in your hive. So stick this on your shocked bee. That is a very important one to have. Make sure you have as much melody as possible, and there's some more bee quips that you're going to need that will also give you melody, because again, this is like the most important, or one of the most important little tokens that you need your bees to be able to spawn. So shocked bee with the kazoo, just one of these, and yeah, that's going to be a really important one. The next one that you're going to want to have, which I currently have in my case, you're going to want to have 1 or 2 toy horns. It kind of depends how badly you need the melody. If you consistently have a melody buff going, then you probably don't need to have 2 of these. But if you find only having 1 of these and 1 kazoo is a little bit rough, then obviously don't go with that. If you have to, put it on the lion bee first, and then if you need another one, put it on your brave bee. And the bee ability rate is great on this as well. The ability pollen, overall super good for a bee quip at least. So then next one, the toy drum. If you don't put a toy horn on your brave bee, stick a toy drum on it. This gives extra haste, which is very important. It will help you when you're trying to also help out with the triangulate and hit your precise speed marks and everything. So that is just one to definitely make sure that you have on your brave bee if you don't already have the toy horn on it. And then the festive wreath is a super good one for your festive bee. Definitely stick this on your festive bee if you have it, and it will make your festive bee just so much better. It seriously is one of the most overpowered items in the game. So if you can have that, then perfect. Next up is the snow tiara. Snow tiara is really good, and you're gonna want to make sure that you stick this on your shocked bee or windy bee. And the buffs on this bee quip can be very powerful. It's a hard bee quip to obtain for sure, but when Beachz comes out, it's definitely one that is getting easier and easier every year, it seems, to obtain, and it just makes a lot of things better, like your white field capacity, your honey from tokens. It also helps so your gummy star is a little bit more valuable to you, and it prevents your bag from just filling up really fast and everything. So that is a very important one. And then peppermint antennas are the next one I want to talk about. 1 to 3 of these in your hive are ideal. It is really good because it gives you additional bee ability rate, and this is really good for bees like gummy bee or windy bee or your bear bee, because it will just allow those, like for gummy bee, your gumdrops to spawn more often from gummy bee, or for bear bee, your bear morph to spawn a bit more often. And it's also good to put on your digital bee if you don't have that many white drives on it. But if you do have a lot of white drives on it, then you're going to want to stick the sweatband on it. And the sweatband, this one that I have, is really bad, and I don't fully understand the sweatband, but by the sources that I've seen, sweatband's really important. Maybe you can let me know in the comments why it's super important, but it gives you just really good buffs in gather amount. And your white drives are going to help with gather amount, so if you have a lot of those already on your digital bee, it'll make it so much more powerful. But yeah, basically try to get one of these if you can. Try to get one that is better than mine. And then yeah, that is about all the ones that are recommended that most people run or seem to run by what I've seen in their white hives. But there are a few honorable mentions that I want to get into in just a second. Alright, the one I want to talk about here is the Paper Angel. The Paper Angel is really good to put on your Photon Bee because it will give you token links. So this is definitely one to consider. It's not super necessary, but if you don't have the other ones, it's always a good option. The Beachz Tree Hat, you can have like 1 to 3 of these. This will help with convert rate, capacity, abilities. Beachz Top is also good for ability rate, critical chance. It just has a lot of good things on it, and you can have 1 to 3 of those as well. So those are some honorable mentions. Now to touch a bit on amulets, I'm going to talk about the Supreme Star Amulet. Now for your Supreme Star Amulet here, you're going to want to make sure you have white pollen, pollen in general, pollen from bees, critical chance, bee ability rate, a passive of the Gummy Star, and the Star Saw. So this is a really expensive one. You're going to need to be using gumdrops and a lot of stingers for this, but it is very worth it. Alright, now for the Ant Challenge, you're going to want to make sure you find convert rate, critical chance, critical power. +1 bee attack is good, but you can also just have pollen in general. It'll be like +4% pollen or +5% pollen. And then you want to have white pollen and red pollen. So that is it for that one. That is the absolute best ant amulet for a white hive there. And then over here, the Supreme Shell Amulet. On this one, you want to have goo conversion, honey from tokens, or instead of honey from tokens, you can have white pollen, stump field pollen, spider field pollen, and then any other field that's white. So that could be pumpkin or just anything that will help a white field. Now, mine is not super great, but what you are going to want if you're a pro is a Supreme Cog Amulet with bee attack, or instead of that, +2 colorless bee attack, because you have mostly colorless bees, white pollen, markability pollen, honey from tokens, and instant white conversion. That is the best case scenario if you're there. Now, for the Diamond Stickbug Amulet for White Hive, you need capacity, convert rate, pollen from tools, which is a bit hard to get, +1 bee attack, +2 red bee attack, white pollen, and honey from tokens. Now, that is a lot of different elements that stack up on this one, but if you get super lucky, that is the best. And again, that pollen from tools is a more rare stat, so you gotta get super lucky. Alright, now on your Moon Amulet here, you obviously want to have that +250,000 capacity. If you can get Ticket Chance, that's great, but that one's rare. Movement Collection is also really rare, but that's good. White Pollen is very good. And then if you can have pollen or pollen from bees, or even just pineapple patch pollen, those are really good ones to have. Now, the last amulet that you're going to need is the King Beetle amulet. This is the one that you're going to need convert rate on, +1 bee attack, and then strawberry field pollen. And then for the last little stat that you have on it, you either want mushroom or clover field pollen. I'm not sure why it's just those two, but those are probably the fields that have the most white flowers if I had to guess. Alright, now mutations I feel like are pretty straightforward, but here we go. So on Digital Bee, obviously you want to have bee ability rate when you have low white drives, but if not, you want to have gather amount on this. That bee ability rate is kind of a purpley color, and the gather amount is green on it. So that's what you're going to want to have for Digital Bee. For your Bear Bee, Windy Bee, your Gummy Bee, and your Photon Bee, and your Festive Bee, your bee ability rate is so important. That is the one that you're going to be looking for. Bee ability rate is amazing. That is the stat that you need to seek. And then, so that's pretty much all the event bees, not Tabby Bee though. For Tabby Bee, you are going to want to have gather amount. Now, gather amount, let's see, I have that on my Tabby Bee. Yep, I have plus 26% gather amount. This is going to just help you get a lot more pollen, so make sure you at least have gather amount on this, and it's a lot easier to get gather amount than it is to get bee ability rate. And then on Vector Bee, you want gather amount or bee ability rate. Those are the two stats. Either one is totally fine. For Precise Bee, you either want attack or bee ability rate. Bee ability rate is probably a little bit more important, but if you can get attack on it, that's still great. And then 3 of them are probably going to need to have energy mutations, so you can put bubble lights on them like I just talked about a little bit earlier. And then for legendary bees, the baby bees, you'll have 4 baby bees. These need to have bee ability rate because you need to have that baby love on as much as possible. For your legendary bees that are not baby bee, like Lion Bee, Carpenter Bee, and Music Bee, you want to have bee ability rate on them ideally, or just gather amount. So that's it for that. And then your epic, rare, and common bees just have bee ability rate or gather amount on those. Now, that is it for all of your mutations. I'm a little tired from all that talking, but we made it through this video. I hope that you guys found this helpful. I'm sorry, I know it was a lot of information to throw at you guys, and once again, I am not a white hive and I don't completely understand everything, but I wanted to make a video on this for you guys just in case this is helpful for at least one of you. So again, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will do everything to the best of my abilities to respond to your questions and give you answers, and maybe you guys can also tell me some things that will help me learn. So again, I'm not a white hive, but I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot making this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support on this channel. It really means so much to me. Leave a comment down below telling me some other suggestions of videos that you'd want to see from me in the future. And if you did enjoy, please make sure to give that like button a tap and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.